Good Thursday evening, everyone. I appreciate your patience yesterday with me not going live. I really have come to enjoy coming and speaking with you every day at about the same time. And I had a family issue that had to be dealt with, and it left me out of the home and unable to communicate with you all for the entire evening. I didn't get home until almost midnight, and so that definitely, it was not a place that I could do a live or have a conversation with you, and for that, I'm grateful that I have the flexibility to do that in my schedule, but I really did miss coming and talking to you guys, and so I wanted to do my, have this conversation with you yesterday, but I'm here today, and I'm so thankful and grateful that you're here with me, and that you'll continue on this journey with me. So this video is where I was and where I'm going, and I thanked Martha Krejci in my description of this video because I've really in the last 6 months been able to watch my life transform into something that I never thought it was going to be. But I want to talk to you a little bit about where I was first. So I was on the edge of a nervous breakdown 11 years ago because my finances were in the hole, and they were terrible. I was sitting on the, well, let me back up. So my finances were in the hole, and so was my health. I knew I needed to make a change. I just didn't know how to go about it. And so I was living in that hole and just kept living there. And it wasn't until I was broke on the couch, crying my eyes out to my husband and saying, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep going. I just don't know how to fix this problem with the finances. I had done everything wrong at that point in time. So I had left my full-time job for what was supposed to be a full-time job and turned out to be not management but a sales position. And that financially, living on minimum wage just was not cutting it. And I couldn't pay my bills. It took me 6 weeks from the time I had left my full-time job to take on this other job to not be able to pay my bills. So I'm sitting there on the couch. I'm broke. Like, my paycheck's already spent before I even got it. And I can't make our car payment. And I am crying to my husband that I just can't do it. And now I've not told him any of this beforehand, which was on me. And I was only 27 at this point in time, you guys. Like, life had just begun, and I was stuck in this hole on this couch, crying my eyes out that I just couldn't do it anymore, and that I was going to give everything over to him, and it was going to be on him to take care of it and just give me an allowance, and that's what I got to live on. And he said, no, you got yourself into this mess. You're going to get yourself out of it. That was huge. And I said, I don't know how. And he said, let's work through this together. Tell me your system. Well, I didn't have a system. I didn't have a budgeting system. I didn't have any financial traction. I didn't know what was going to happen. And so he showed me his system. It was very simple. It was very simplistic, but it was something that I had not done. And it was literally write down your expenses and how you're going to pay them based on your pay periods, and then mark them off as you pay your bills. Super, super simple. I didn't have any idea how to do that before that. It just wasn't a concept in my mind. And that really helped me take some control of my finances. Now, in there, fast forwarding a few years later, I got calls from those credit card companies, and they closed out my accounts, and I agreed to it. And I didn't realize how bad it was going to tank my my credit score. And it really did have a negative impact. Now, I have dug myself out of that it's taken me this long, but let's fast forward a little bit. So I'm digging my way out of the hole very slowly, and someone shared with me a book. Go check out this book at the library. It's from Dave Ramsey. It's called Financial Peace, and read it. And so I did. Library's free, right, guys? So I went to the library, I read that book, then I grabbed another book after that one, and then I just kept reading and bringing this information in. And I went, these are things I wasn't taught. These are concepts I wasn't taught. Now, mind you, I still haven't taken control of my health. I know that something needs to change, but I don't know what that is. And I continue to find discipline in my finances and gaining traction, and then I wanted to share that with everyone, and I didn't know how. So I was introduced to the Financial Peace University and started working through that program on my own, not as a couple, on my own, and bringing those principles in. And I read Kids and Money, Dave Ramsey's book with his daughter Rachel Cruz, about kids and money, and I took concepts from that into my own life. But then also I want to set up my son and the future generations to make better financial choices. And so we started implementing those things in our home. Now, 3 years ago, so 2016 into 17, my finances have been starting to gain traction. Things are looking better. I went back to school. I now have a better paying job. I was working a side hustle there for a while, and things are looking up and going so much better, which started leading me into taking more control, and I have notes here, more control of my life and taking control of my victim story. Because what I was doing here was living my victim story. I was living the story that I had written in my head, that I couldn't get ahead financially, that I couldn't be successful, that I wasn't going to lose weight, that I was always going to be this way. And I lived in this victim. This story had been written and written and written in my head because it was generations of people telling me that. From my grandmother to my mother to my father, all of those things were continuing. And it wasn't that they came out and specifically said, you are going to live this life. It was just the way things were implied and the way things were taken internally. And I live this victim story. I'm always going to be overweight. I'm always going to be financially broke. I'm always going to struggle. Life just sucks. But it didn't have to suck. Life did not have to suck. And I realized that by living my victim story, that I wasn't serving myself in any other way. And I had started to lose weight for other people, not for me, in 2017. But I thought it was for me, but it was for them. And you can't lose weight for someone else when it's on your body, when it's you that has to do it. And so what ends up happening is, for me, I gained the weight back, all but 10 pounds. 2020 stunk when it came to my health. Even though I'm sure if you go back far enough in my videos, you will find I did a sweat it out challenge all summer long, and I walked anywhere from 4 to 5 days a week, but I still wasn't making good nutrition choices. And so even though I was winning financially and things were getting a little bit better, my health was tanking still. And I stopped fighting for my own health for a brief period of time because I was stuck. And so in April of 2020, I joined a book club because I knew I needed to make a change. And I knew in the midst of a pandemic, I needed to have people in my life that were going to consistently be speaking life into me, because I was still living that victim. That victim story had slowly changed, but I was still living that victim story that I had wrote time and time again in my head. So I joined this group, and these are women. There's about 15 of them. Speak life into me, and I speak life into them. And we have created a community outside of that book club that still keeps going on. And when I need them, they're there. And we're not anywhere near each other. Like, we are from coast to coast, from north to south, but we are there for each other. So if you are living your victim story like I was, find people to speak life into you. Because you need that and you deserve that. Then I was asked to become an ULA Life coach, and I had a conversation with another person who spoke life into me. And she said to me, you bring with you all of that baggage, like reach back in the fire and get those people who are there. Because even though you're not done, you've lived this life back here, and you need to bring them with you over here. Because they don't need to live that victim story either. You don't need to live that victim story any longer. You deserve better. I was then introduced to Martha Krejci. I've literally known about her. I looked back. I had been introduced back in August of 2020. I didn't start following her and her principles and her life giving breath into mine until October. I've been following her ever since. I look forward to her daily lives because she speaks life into me. And Martha taught me that my life and my story aren't finished. They are just beginning. So where am I going? In the past 6 months, I have seen my income streams change. And my focus to serve others completely and wholeheartedly from my heart. Using God, universe, creator, to guide me to my people. So if you're watching this and you can relate to any part of my story, or you just need someone to help you through your fire, I am here for you in whatever capacity that is. Because you are not finished yet. You are just beginning. And together we will walk into that future. As Martha says, and I truly believe, we will meet on the mountaintop together. You can have the life that you want. You deserve that. And I would love to be one of those people who gets to walk with you and help you out of that fire and into where you need to go. Because your story is not over. It's just beginning. It's just beginning. I'm going to get out of here, pop out. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and I will see you tomorrow, which is Friday, at 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bye, guys.